We are getting word that Robert Mueller, the former FBI director, who's now this chief counsel in this entire mess, this Russian probe mess, well, he's moving quite fast. In fact, very fast, so fast that some say this whole investigation could be wrapped up in a matter of months, forget years. Hard to say what's right, but I know this lady has a pretty good idea. To USA Today Congressional reporter Eliza Collins. Eliza, let's say hypothetically Mueller is moving quickly and does get this wrapped up. Let's say by the end of the year. What would be the implications of that? I guess it depends on what he comes up with, but how is speed going to make a difference here?
Well, I think it totally depends on what he comes up with, but even if this is super fast, he finishes it with the end of the year, that still means there's this cloud, this Russia investigation cloud, through the rest of the year, and that's hard for members of Congress. You know, Republicans are frustrated that that's what reporters want to ask them when they're on the Hill. They want to talk about their agenda. So hypothetically, this finishes up that quickly. It definitely gives them years to move forward, but it still is there until it's not there, and we don't know how quickly it's going to move. But he is definitely ramping up requests for information and reaching out to people.
You know, I also wonder, too, Eliza, if he's trying to get this information, does that come ahead of the Senate and House committees that are looking and pursuing the same thing? Because he has already suggested that now is not the time for them to get a hand on those Comey memos, that they would have to be him first. So he's already set a little bit of a dividing line. He's first, they're next, right?
And that's exactly right. You said the dividing line, and that was a big concern when lawmakers first found out. I think he's pretty widely respected on both sides, which is a good thing for whatever ends up happening. You know, if there's no wrongdoing, Democrats will have to accept, and kind of vice versa. But the lawmakers on these committees, they want that power, and they're frustrated if that feels like it's going to be taken away. And we definitely saw that with the intelligence committees, which are kind of taking the lead.
Right.
We don't know what's going on right now. CNN just reported that James Comey is going to testify in front of the Intelligence Committee, but he had to speak with Mueller first to figure out what he could say in public, and then they'll have their own meeting. So it's sort of this weird, murky area right now.
You know what I wonder about, too? Forget about Democrats, what they're doing, but Republicans, if they sense that Donald Trump is in a weakened political position because of this ongoing investigation, they could vote from him on the tax cut thing, the health care thing. Already we're seeing a number of Republican senators, including the two Republicans from Iowa, who have serious doubts about the health care measure in the Senate, saying that a repeal effort could face an uphill battle. I'm kind of cutting to the chase here. But if they're doing that right now, before this investigation is full throttle, what happens if it gets really heated?
I don't know what happens, and that's a real frustration you'll have from lawmakers. Some Republican lawmakers actually told me they were relieved that Mueller got appointed, privately off the record, because they felt like it kind of took some of the heat off. I'm hypothetically in the Senate, and I'm asking them now about health care because they're not involved in the investigation anymore. That's off in the FBI, and if they're not on any of the relevant committees, they really don't have any say, whereas before we could ask, do you think there should be a special counsel, things like that. So privately there's a little bit of relief that he's there, but you know, if this starts pulling up stuff, and just regardless, there's all of these reports of people being called in and things like that, it just raises questions, which takes away from what they want to be doing, which is health care and tax reform, and oh, by the way, we have to deal with funding the government.
All right, Eliza, well put. Thank you very much. Eliza Collins, USA Today Congressional reporter. Good seeing you.
Thank you.